Hi, I'm Margaret Jerger, and I'd like to share with you some tricks that I've found that are fun and have helped children and adults read easier. I found these out as someone who's been working as a speech language pathologist for 45 years and as someone who's a mom and has done some research. I've put together 4 videos of different stumbling blocks that I've used tricks to help people read better. And they've been successful for me. And I was hoping to share them with you for free. Maybe it will be useful. Good luck. There are other areas that I've done videos on, and we're just talking about number 1, the letter and word reversals. But just in case you happen to be interested, there are 3 often overlooked major areas of stumbling blocks. And the other area has to do with the inaccurate awareness of specific speech sounds. We call those phonemes. And some people call it phoneme awareness. There's a lot of discussion about that, and I have some very specific techniques to remediate that I've done research in. The other area that I've done a video about is the underlying awareness of how speech sounds can affect decoding. And these is a variety of different confusions that kids get, or sometimes adults, at various stages in their lives, and some tricks to deal with those. So today, though, we're just going to talk about reversals. Reversals seem like they're pretty common. We see people who the B's are D's and Q's and P's. And we have all kinds of little ways of helping people. We say, oh, well, they say L goes this way. With someone in reversal, that does not help at all. Okay. And I've had my first experience. This is not a speech and language thing generally, although it was in a LD school that I worked in, and I found this technique that worked for them. But it also, I first became alerted to it with my own son. And I suspected at 3, 4 that there was a serious left-right reversal, but people kept saying he'll outgrow it. You probably have heard this. And by the time they get to first grade or second grade, some of the kids have become very unhappy about being corrected because in their mind, there's a 50-50 shot at being right. I've actually known some that just melt on the floor or hide under their desk or just ignore the whole thing. So we do want to be careful to encourage and motivate at all times. We may not think of this as a big problem, but to a certain element, it is a problem. And so that wasn't me barking, that was me giving a motivational speech. Sometimes we think we're doing something that's valuable, and if we have to really check to see if the person receiving that information is appreciating it. So I started with letters that face the left. And I found out that if you could, all these things tie the emotional, the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic memories to letters that face the left, the more Velcro we have, the more likely it will stay with us. So the goal here in this is to basically get them in charge so they get to be the coach and they get to be the one who chooses the letters that face the left. And what you do is on a screen, and we will do it in a moment, you have them pick the ones that face the object that you put up in the upper left-hand corner. If they like football, then it's a football. If they like Spider-Man, then it's a Spider-Man. And as a coach, they only want people, or as a friend, they only want people who care about that which is up in the left-hand corner. Over time, they create their own scenarios, really sometimes very ingenious, you'd never dream up yourself, but they can create them, and they use them to demonstrate how to play the game, how to help Spider-Man, but they're always using these items. So if I have
the first time I did this, I had a boy who loved football. So I put a football up here in the upper, oh man, am I good, left-hand corner. And then I had him sit there and I drew a letter and said, what do you think? On your team or off? And if they weren't too sure, sometimes they put a little nose there. Okay, he's on your team. Okay, so we'll put him down here. He's on your team. Then you erase him and put another one up there. So now I'm going to say this one. What do you think? He isn't paying attention. He's not looking at the football. Okay? So that's the way the game is played. I won't go on any more with that, but you get through it, and you can even use numbers like this guy. What do you think? Is he on the team or not? I would put him on the team. He seems pretty much facing this way. That's my choice. And he's the coach. You kind of encourage him to pick those letters that face the left. What we want to do is create confidence. We want to create an emotional attachment to these very special characters, okay? Here's something else that's a trick. And this is a trick for using the code of the letters that look to the left, letters and numbers. And if you know what they are, you can write secret codes to people. So first, of course, you have to learn them. And they happen to be A, D, G, J, Q, U, Y, Z, 2, 3, 7, 9. Things like 0, you say, not on my team, hasn't committed themselves. Then, of course, like any code, you can put real letters, the important letters, under only the ones that face the left. So I would write this to someone who's already learned and they would be able to decode this secret message that says, I like you, John. Notice how I did that, okay? This is kind of fun and tells them that they've got a skill. That it also reinforces the whole idea of only those secret letters that face the left and the numbers count. Another technique that I used actually with my son, and this technique's been around, he's over 50, it's been around for many years, and it's still available, I was surprised to see. And it helps you track them from left to right, gives you that practice, kind of like you can see here, do, like that. Let me show you. You can start with pictures. So at the top, you'll have like shoe, cat, I guess it's a sailboat. So you wouldn't circle sailboat because it's not the first thing. So you circle, you go and you find the shoe. Then you have to find the cat. And then you find the sailboat, okay? And then you go down here and you find the shoe. You notice it's getting a little smaller. And you can't keep on going until you find the sailboat. Ooh, I didn't get it right, did I? I had to find the cat first. Cat, and then the sailboat. And you do this, and it gets smaller and smaller. And what my son liked about it, because he liked to be fast, and he ended up being a runner, and you put minutes and seconds up top, and he really liked to do that. So here's another example. Once you get away from that, you get letters, and they get smaller and smaller, same process. You have a score sheet at the end, so you can subtract your times, all that stuff. Some kids don't like this at all, so you might want to experiment before you invest in something like this. But it does reinforce the left to right, left to right, left to right. You have to be there because they will jump around, and you want to encourage the left to right. So with your person that you are thinking about, you need to know what reversals they actually have in letters and numbers. Also notice
reversals in words. It happens. My son thought that Go Dog Go, the book, which is one of his earlier favorite books, at first he thought it was about God because dog spelled backwards is God. So what to do now? You might have some more comments or questions exactly how to do this particular game about being a coach and that type of thing, because it is an ongoing, I found with people who are working this system, they need encouragement to, here's another trick that you can use while doing that. So if you want to contact me through info@soundsteps.net, I'm Dr. Margaret Jerger, and your comments or questions, but you might even schedule a one-to-one free Zoom session to learn some more. Thank you so much. Good luck.